Let's try that again. Good afternoon. My name is Anna Landis-Benz. I use she, her pronouns. I am a congregant of Merging Waters Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community that draws on the shared values of mindful interdependence, authentic curiosity, and courageous love. We welcome you who are joining us in person and you who are joining us online. It is so good to be together in all of the ways that we can. If you are with us in person, where we share a space at the United Church of Christ New Brighton, we are so glad that you are here. We ask that everyone wears a name tag in an effort to practice radical hospitality and to build community, and some are available in the welcome area. As always, I have a few announcements. We encourage everyone to take care of your body's needs during the service and engage in ways that help you feel connected, including crafting, doodling, fidgeting, stretching, etc. The fireside space in the back has lots of room for moving around during the service. We want children especially to feel free to engage in activities in the back or to be with their adults or to move between the two. Unfortunately, our wonderful new child care provider needed to resign to care for her family. We hope to have someone new in place by the beginning of June. Families are still welcome to make use of the child care room at the end of the hall where you can continue to listen to the service or bring a few toys to the fireside area. And we wish Michaela all of the best and her family health. If you have a pastoral care need, please feel free to reach out to Reverend Krista. She also has scheduled office hours in the next couple of weeks, which you can find in the Thursday update. Newcomers are welcome to all of our programming. You need not be a formal member. If you are new to Merging Waters, please consider signing up to receive our weekly e-news, which gives details and links for our events. No one is new here. Okay. Some specific announcements. This Wednesday is our Merging Waters Unitarian Universalist Congregation annual meeting. We hold these annually. They are a big deal. It starts at 6:30. This annual meeting can be attended in person here at UCCNB or via Zoom. Please arrive either way by 6:15 p.m. so that we can take attendance and confirm a quorum. A quorum is what we need in order to actually vote on things. And for regular business at our annual meetings, we need 20% of membership present. For more information, see the official call to meeting that was sent out on May 8th, and there is information in the most recent Thursday update. An announcement from Marie. We need people to volunteer for a coffee hour for next Sunday. This involves making coffee, bringing treats, setting up, and cleaning up. We also need people to sign up all through June. The sign-up sheet is out in the entry area right next to the coffee and treats. Also from Marie. If you know longtime member of MSUS/MWUC, Michelle Wallace and Doug Root, please consider yourself invited to their farewell party on Friday, May 29th at 5 p.m. They are retiring to Mexico and want everyone to gather to enjoy some live music, food, and conversation with them. You can call or text Marie for more information, including home address and directions. And then finally, UCCNB's year-end picnic is May 31st from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in their church parking lot. So just plan accordingly. Parking that day might be a little bit interesting.
And we're invited.
And we are invited to the picnic. All right, joining me in the worship service in person today is Reverend Krista. Our director of music, Bruce, is out sick today, so music will be from recordings. Our volunteer tech team includes Byron and Brian, Katie Johnson and Janice Sancott create the service slides. Welcome once again to our service today. We hope these Sunday services provide a time of sanctuary, reflection, connection, and joy. Our chalice reading today is titled, Who Am I to Not Be Blessed? By Reverend Chris Jemerson. In moonlit shadows, at the edge of night-darkened oak trees, I see it. Across sunny pathways, in the buzzing of insects, amongst the flowering forest of greenery, I hear it. From the touch of one's loved, the embraces of those gone before me, I feel it. In the poems I love dearly, the songs that speak to my heart, the sculpture that catches my imagination, the discoveries still to be made, I sense it. It is in the fire of distant suns, the cool drip of waters, the slight chill in the breeze, the laughter of children, no matter what their age, old and young, grown and still small. It is the breath of life, the stardust of souls, the magic of remembrance. Who am I not to surrender to it in gratitude? Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. We have hymnals somewhere in the back, and the screen and lyrics will be shared to Zoom for those joining online. People at home will be muted and are welcome to sing along.
This afternoon, every time. Someday we'll get used to afternoon services. And fill the 2 buckets. Now, one of these buckets was fairly new and kept in good condition and would hold all of its water on the way back to the village. But the other bucket had seen some things and gotten a little tattered and torn. All holes, and it would drip, drip, drip water the whole way back to the village. So when it returned to the home, there was only about half of the water left in the bucket. Now this went on for a long time, back and forth, only a bucket and a half of water returning each time. And eventually, the battered and torn bucket spoke up and said, "I'm so sorry that I can't bring all the water back that I'm supposed to hold. And the village elder held the bucket tenderly and said to it, "Look at the trail on our way back from our next trip." And on their way back, the bucket looked around and saw that on its side, where it had been drip, drip, dripping, there were beautiful wildflowers growing all along the path. And the other side was dry and barren. When they got back to the village that day, the village elder said to the bucket, "I could have repaired you so that you would carry water all the way back to the village. But sometimes there's more that we need from our water than just drinking and cooking. We need beauty in our lives also. And by letting you drip, you share and create the beauty of the flowers for everyone who makes the trip down to the river to enjoy. Your value is in more than just your productivity of carrying water for our use. Your value is in the beauty you create by your being. The thing that sometimes seems like a flaw, but is really there to make life more whole. I love this ancient tale, and I think it's appropriate on Flower Sunday, Flower Communion Sunday, to remind us that our value and worth is not just in the ways that we are productive, but in the beauty that we bring to one another. That we don't have to be perfect and mended and whole to contribute to the love of this community. Sometimes our flaw may be exactly what is needed. And I am going to check my order of service because it's one of those mornings. So we've moved things around a little bit this morning, but I want to invite us now into our time of joy and sorrows. Each Sunday when we gather, we make space to hold one another in love and to take a moment to be aware of what is happening in the world around us. And send our love not only inside this building, but out to all those around us who may be grieving or experiencing the violence that is so present in our current world. Today, I have a special reading for us that I'm going to invite Anna up to share. And today is International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. And in a recent email from Uplift, the Reverend Michael J. Crumpler, they, them pronouns, who is the Multicultural Programs Director for our Unitarian Universalist Association, gave a beautiful reflection entitled "Freedom is Dangerous," that I would like for you all to hear.
This reflection is written from Reverend Crumpler's point of view. Sunday, May 17th, is International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. This weekend, I am traveling to Selma for the first time in response to the Supreme Court's decision to allow the great state of Louisiana to redraw Black representation out of Congress. Selma is hallowed ground. It's where we go when we need to call upon the ancestors. We go there when we need to draw upon powers greater than the powers that be today. The Edmund Pettus Bridge is Mecca. It's the promised land. Edmund Pettus was a U.S. Senator from Alabama, a Confederate general, and the Grand Dragon of the Alabama Ku Klux Klan. I wonder what he would think about his name being associated with the very thing he feared the most: freedom. Freedom is dangerous. I'm a Black, queer, non-binary queen freely moving back and forth between the byways of Brooklyn and the highways of rural southeastern North Carolina. Rarely do I think about the danger that exists around me. Even more rare is the memory of those who made it possible for me to move with such freedom and dignity. We are going to Selma to remember the danger we are in. Selma will not undraw any maps or overturn any Supreme Court decisions. Selma will remind us, and them, that our fight for freedom is through the South. All our freedoms, homosexual freedom, bisexual freedom, transgender freedom, freedom to immigrate, freedom to not to parent, freedom to be, are connected to the Edmund Pettus Bridge. On this International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia, may we remember that these fears are really about freedom. The same fear that beat, lynched, and maimed Black children in Selma is the same fear that bans, misnames, and destroys transgender children today. The same fear that annihilated Indigenous tribes is the same fear that undermines the rights of undocumented immigrants. The same fear that put jelly beans in a jar next to a ballot and scribbled a price on a piece of paper for Black people to pay in order to vote is the same fear that says one Black district is too many. We wouldn't want people to become too free. On Sunday, May 17th, may we fear not, and may we all be free indeed.
I will invite us now into singing together again. Since we juggled music around a little bit, it's not going to be our traditional There Is a Love, but one that I feel is pretty appropriate for Flower Communion, and you may or may not know. It's called Holy Now by Peter Mayer. If you're in person, I invite you to remain seated for this one. We'll have the words on the screen in the video. If you're online, please remain muted. And feel free to sing along if you know it.
When I was a boy each week, on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. And when I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Testament, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament, I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
That song strikes so many chords in me. It's a reminder to be present in this moment. I don't know about you, but I know I have struggled to do that a lot recently. Anybody else? Yeah, most of us. There's a lot going on in the world today. Part of my heart is aching that I cannot be in Montgomery marching. I had the privilege yesterday of joining with a small group of interfaith clergy to be in prayer and solidarity and hold them in our hearts, those who could go to Montgomery. And we spoke about the way that the fight for rights, the fight for our very humanity and integrity is not new. Right? We know the fight from the civil rights era is still continuing in this country today. And we know it traces back further than that. So I think it's appropriate that today is a day we celebrate flower communion. Because the minister who first celebrated flower communion was the Reverend Norbert Chapek. And he, too, faced the onslaught of authoritarianism with the Nazis. And the way he found to keep going, to hold on to his humanity and remind him why we fight, was by slowing down and looking at the beauty around us. Looking at the flowers and affirming for each other that each of us, in our wholeness, in all of who we are, and the many, many diversities that we bring to this world,